Hi everyone, this is Genesis Fisher from Fisher Law Practice. We help businesses create healthy workplaces by addressing office disputes. So today I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about our subscription service. There have been some businesses that have asked me, what is this about, Genesis? I'm a little unclear. And let me just take a couple minutes to explain it to you. So the subscription service is something that I thought about back when I was in a couple of workplaces that were just not going very well. I thought, wouldn't it be great if there was someone here every once in a while who would come in, someone that I could talk to, someone that I could call, someone that I knew on a regular basis. If I had a coworker that I wanted to sit down and have a three-way conversation with, that there would be someone there. And oftentimes a supervisor just isn't the right person for it, especially if the person you want to talk to is your supervisor. So that's why we developed the subscription service. So if you're not always in the mindset of worker dissatisfaction like I am, then think about subscription service as addressing this particular need. So on a scale of 1, you have a worker who is okay in their workplace, but maybe like slightly dissatisfied, right? And then on the number 10, on the level, you have a worker who's hates it, wants to leave, is gonna quit, is gonna sue, right? Lawsuit, walking out the door, gonna cost the company tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. So oftentimes when people call us to come in and do a mediation, it's when it gets to like a level 8. So it's after the worker's dissatisfied, after they've talked to their colleagues, after they've talked to their supervisor, after the supervisor has done some very minimal coaching. That didn't work. It goes up to HR. HR goes up to management. Management says, okay, try to work it out. HR can't work it out. And then they say, well, try to bring in a consultant. So then someone calls me. At this point, it's level 7. And also at this point, for the workers involved, the process has now taken months. And during that time, tempers flare, distrust festers, and work productivity goes down. So by the time it gets to HR and HR gets the okay to actually bring my firm in and bring my mediators in, then we're at a level 8 where the person is just barely holding on and trying to figure out if this relationship with the individuals can be salvaged and if the relationship with the business can be salvaged. And we do a pretty good job of patching people back together, but wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to wait until level 8? If we could intervene at level 3 or 4, when the worker knows that they're upset, they just don't know what to do about it. And the workers are smart. They know that outside help isn't going to come until level 8. They know that they're going to have to suck it up until then. And oftentimes they deal with it by taking time off, by leaving early, by doing all these other things to manage, but that actually hurt the business. So what the subscription service is, it's we have a representative from our office come into your office once a month, and depending on the size of the subscription service, meaning depending on the size of your business, someone from my firm might be there from 2 hours once a month, or 4 hours once a month, or maybe even for a full day once a month, depending on the number of offices that you have. And essentially, it's office hours. So someone can sign up in advance to talk to us, and we could do some one-on-one coaching. 2 people or more could sign up, and we can come in and do some spot mediation with 2 coworkers who aren't working together or a team. We can also come in and do a facilitation between, say, a supervisor and a person on the staff who aren't getting along, and try to facilitate that conversation. So that's what the subscription service is. It's a way for your employees and your supervisors who are to access help before it gets to the crisis level. Okay, so I think it's a great. Of course, I would think it's a great thing. But in terms of like what I felt like when I was working in places and what need I saw, I think this really fits the need. So why the subscription service? Another reason why the subscription service is so helpful is that it helps the business spot trends. So The great thing about my firm is that because I'm an attorney, the mediators who work under me, everything is completely confidential. Okay, so we're not like a nonprofit where they have to do reporting about certain comments or certain groups of people. We actually don't have to do any reporting. It's completely confidential. And the workers know that. The people who come to us know that. And so there's a level of trust already because they know that we won't share what was said to HR. We won't share what was said to an attorney. Everything stays confidential. But what we do report is we do report trends. So you'll be able to see, based on the number of people who are coming to the office hours, are there certain times of year where there's more discord than other times? And what about staffing changes? Have the number of people seeking conflict resolution help increased when you promoted a certain person or when a certain person left the business, right? And so it's helpful to look at those numerically to spot trends and maybe change your practices in order to alleviate some of this discord before it actually happens. And then another reason why the subscription service is so great is that once you commit, you actually have access to more perks to help your community of workers and staff. So one of the perks that we offer for our subscription service folks is access to webinars that are only for people who are doing the subscription service. And the webinars are given by myself and people on my staff and other experts that I know in the community who have put together wonderful topics that are really going to help your staff grow internally and with each other. Another perk is that depending on the level of subscription that you have, you can send between 1 and 3 managers to our annual management training. Managers are often promoted because they're really good at their job, not necessarily because they're great leaders. So we have to give people the tools in order to be able to lead effectively, to create key performance indicators for themselves and for their staff, not just for the product or services that they're expected to produce, but for how people actually produce those things and how people communicate with each other. So that's another great benefit. And a third great benefit is that we offer 1 free cultural event per year. So I'm a big proponent of fun. I don't think that learning has to be a slog. So one of the things that I put together are these great cultural events. So the one that people like the most is the Black History Month trivia game, and it's a lunchtime event. People come, they form teams, they test their mettle with each other, and they learn, and it facilitates a great discussion, and it's just fun. And so we bring those events in each year for you at no additional cost. So again, the subscription service helps your employees by providing them with access to someone to help them earlier in the process at level 2, 3, 4, rather than level 8, 9, or 10 when they're thinking of suing. It also helps the business spot trends, and it gives you this great list of additional resources at no extra cost to you. So hopefully you're interested in the subscription service. I think that I've done a pretty good job of explaining what it is. And if you're still, on the fence about whether or not you want to join us, one thing that you should consider is bringing us aboard for, a very simple conflict resolution and communication training. We offer a basic training that's about 3.5 hours long. We can come and train your staff. Each session we take about 20 to 25 attendees, so you may have to purchase more than one session. But bring us in for the 3.5 hours, and you'll see that your employees will be engaged, the managers, if they come, will be engaged, and people will leave energized about the new skills that they learned. And it's also a great way to introduce Fisher Law Practice to your staff. So consider that if you're thinking about whether or not to actually go forward with the subscription service. But for those of you who already know that you're in it and you want to try it for 3 months. You don't have to commit to the full year right off the bat. Try it for 3 months. And if you're interested, you can email us at info@fisherlawpractice.nyc. Again, that's info@fisherlawpractice.nyc. I'm Genesis Fisher. This is Fisher Law Practice, and we help businesses create healthy workplaces by addressing office disputes. Thank you.